game on their part. I know it. I know it would look like Phil didn't make shots, but they they were just really good defensively, really physical, um, long. Um, they did they did a great job in ball screens, even with Jesse Govan, where they were uh, they were icing ball screens and really did a good job. It goes two ways. They got a little bit of foul trouble because of it, but they also kept Phil Booth out of it. So just a great game. Two really good teams, and I hope the next game against them gets snowed out. We don't have to play.
Jay, you said in the beginning of the year that you really needed the sophomores to step up this year. It's kind of what you were talking about when you got Colin, Jermaine, and Demir today.
Yeah, it was interesting. I watched Georgetown's game against Xavier, and I saw Patrick's interview after the game, and he said, our young guys are growing up. I kind of feel like our sophomores, for different reasons, are young guys, and they're really starting to step up. And we need it, and that's what a season is, But by this point in the season, sophomores and freshmen are different. They're different than when they started the year. And I think ours are starting to get it.
Jay, the last couple of games in this building, you held power to three. Tonight, Govans doesn't score two long, so 2 for 11. Where is your defense at now relative to where it was at the beginning of the year?
It's getting better, Hoops. I thought we took a little step back against DePaul. And today, this team, offensively, they do a lot of good things well. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned, they can win without Jesse Govan scoring big numbers. And they get to the foul line a lot. They shoot well from three. They play at a high pace. So no matter what the numbers are, we did a lot of good things today against them because I think they're a really good offensive team.
Jay, can you talk about the way you guys were able to get more scoring, especially the way your three-point shooting was off today?
Well, I really credit Georgetown's defense. I really do. And, when you shoot a lot of threes, you're going to have games like that. And you can't stop shooting, and you can't be afraid. That's our term, shoot 'em up, sleep in the streets. You can't be afraid to lose that way. And I think we just hung in there and kept shooting them until Colin really got hot. And then after he got hot, then Phil got it going a little bit. And I thought Joe Creamer got some good looks that he normally makes too. So we credit their defense, and also it's one of those nights.
Were you shot?
It was a career high rebound.
Yeah.
Jay, what's the key to sort of managing the energy of him and Cousins?
Yeah, I think. I mean that's part of it. Mike, is you got two guys that can play that spot, and that's exactly what we try to do. Is try to manage. When they start losing a little bit of energy, get the other one in. And we're basically playing two guys at that one spot. And it's one of the things we learned about Demir is, he can give you a good 3-4 minutes at a time, and then he kind of loses a little bit. We got to work on his conditioning, but those 3 or 4 he gives you really good. And Jermaine can go a little longer. But I thought they were really inspired playing against Jesse Govan, and I think they took on that challenge. I think they respect him. They know him from last year. And I think that was part of it too.
You did play the three of them together a little bit with Pascal. What brought that up?
Just their size, and their ability to affect us on the offensive glass. And they were getting a lot of mismatches. They were getting our guards caught down low, and we're just trying to avoid that for a little while try to hold the fort down for a little bit with our size, and we're getting better at that. We did a good job against DePaul with that area, playing the Sadiq, either Eric's or Sadiq, and then Demir and Jermaine together.
Were you shocked that Akenjo was able to control the tempo until about 53 all in the second half? And would you rather him do that from a coach's perspective or get out on the break like he did in the first half?
I think what bodes well for Georgetown is they've got great balance. He can, and he's just one of them, but he can score in the open floor. He can push the pace. And then in half-court offense, he's really good in pick and roll too, and good in ISO. So, and they've got a lot of guys like that. And McClung's the same way. I think Jesse's become that way. Jesse can go up and down, Pickett's that way. They have great balance.
How
You
much
can't come
is-
into this game saying you want to stop one guy. You know, they just get too much firepower.
Coach,
How much
you
does
have
Colin
no
remind you of
shortage-
Arch?
In a lot of ways, he does. You know, he's got that Northeast Philly mentality that I love. You know, it's a simple-minded toughness, real clear head. You know, he looks at the world really simply. You know, do the right thing, give a great day's effort, be a good person. You know, it's about it. You know, and that's what he concentrates. That's what he plays. Be a good teammate. Those are the most important areas in our program, and that's where he's very similar to Arch.
To be
Jay,
9
you've
and a
had-
half
you've
through
had
the
a-
Big East with all the change and the roles and everything like that, I mean, how surprised are you by that?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. You know, I don't. You know, we don't. When you ask me, I have to be honest, right? And then we'll just concentrate on the next game and see what we can do with the next one. But when you know, we really don't look back during the season, except at these times when we're asked, you got to answer an honest question. But these guys have come a long way, but we know how fragile it is. It's really fragile. I think you can see today. This team could beat us easy today. We've gutted it out, and we got to keep getting better.
Coach, how did you feel
Would you
about
look
Colin
at-
scoring 30? Like, do you feel like he had it in him?
Definitely. First game I saw him live in high school, he scored 41, and I thought he had about 22. You know, and I called the assistants afterwards. I said, "Yeah, he was really good." I said, "He must have had like 22, 24." They already had. They said he had 41. I was like, "Wow, that was the quietest 41," but he looked good. I like him. So he has. Even today, I would not have thought he had 30. He has a quiet way of doing it. He's really efficient, and I'm really proud of him.
Jay, like you said, this has been a different arc that you've had to this team than your teams that have won titles. And I guess I wonder whether you see this team as, now that you're in February, where you think it needs to be in order to reach the goals that you have commonly set for yourself at this program.
Yeah, like none of our teams that won championships, whether the Big East championships or NCAA championships, I never really think they're going to be that until it's over. And then I look back and say, yeah, we were. Because we're just always just trying to be the best team we can be. And a lot of times sometimes you just have a better team that year. You know, you get to be the best team you can be, you run into a better team, you know. The year we lost to Wisconsin, you know, in second round, we were a great team. And they had a lot of old guys, and they were veterans. They were a great team. We just ran into them. But I was just as proud of that team, you know. So I'm really interested. I know this team has a great upside. I know we lack some experience. So I just want to see how far we can take this ride, and we'll just do it one game at a time.
When you went ISO back to back to back, Booth versus Kenjo, was that because you saw a mismatch, or did you want to get Booth started, or both?
Booth I think it just hit one, and then so we were trying to keep them going. And they were just doing such a great job in pick and roll. We didn't want to bring another defender to them because they were soft blitzing them or downing them, and they had a really good game plan defensively.
What's it like to have Brunson in the house as well?
Intimidating. You know, I was worried. You know, we wanted him to have his senior day today, but I didn't want this team to be affected. He's a real legend in this program, and not because of Player of the Year. It's more how he conducted himself every day, and we refer to him a lot. So I didn't want the guys to get caught up in his. We wanted to do that for him because he missed his senior day. So what that was he didn't want to take away from the seniors on senior day, even though he knew he probably would leave, it wasn't his senior class. And the only thing his mom asked when she said he was coming back is like, if he leaves early, could we do this? Could we still have senior day? Because we love senior day. So that was his senior day. And so it's intimidating to all of us, me too, because we all want to live up to how he played.
Jay, Jesse Govan has 6 scoreless games in his career. 3 of them have come against you guys. What about the way you approach guarding him works so well, or what do you attribute that to?
Well, I know it's different guys, you know. I thought today Jermaine and Demir just did a great job on him. I guess I don't know what years it was, but I think, was it last year one?
Freshman Big East tournament.
Right. So I mean, there's different guys, right? I just great respect for him. You know, I know going into the game, I mean, he's a force. You know, even today, at the end, they ran a great play to get him a 3 up top, and he was open. He got it. But I think maybe the work we had done before that, we sped him up a little bit. But he had one. He makes those. I thought that was going in.
So Patrick was just talking about after you and Marquette, there's this big block of everybody all jumbled up in the Big East. Is that a little surprising to see the separation with you two, especially when you see a team like Georgetown do what it does?
Yeah, it is. I'm interested to see how it ends up because you know, we look at these teams. We could have lost it to Paul at home. We could have lost this game today. There's a lot of games. You know, we've been in a lot of close games, and everybody in the league has. So I don't. Even though it is that way, you are what your record is, right? But you look at the games are all really close. Everyone's a lot closer than that standings looks.
Colin, can you talk about your performance today?
I think I did a good job catching and shoot. Guys got me shots when I was off the ball, so it's really just playing off my jump shot and playing with confidence.
Colin, what kind of player is Kenjo? You guys had a nice little battle for a while.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's a quick guard, can create his own shot, gets teammates involved. He does a lot for his team, and he's only a freshman, so he's a great player, and it was fun to play against him.
Jermaine, what got into you today, man, that you got 16 rebounds on and off the offensive and defensive glass?
I would just say that I was just trying to help out my teammates. You know, Georgetown has a lot of big guys who crash the glass, and I wanted to make sure, you know, I set the tone for my teammates and grab as many rebounds as I could.
Jermaine, talk about closing the space on Govan. You made him very uncomfortable, whether in the paint or out. You didn't give him much room to move at all.
I just wanted to be physical as much as I can within the rules and just, you know, play him straight up and make things difficult for him.
You guys, it's a tie game, and then you go, I think it was 17-2 or something like that. How much of that is having been there and knowing how to handle these kind of games?
It comes with experience. Having Phil and E on our team, it really helps. Those guys have been in tough games throughout their careers. So it's just a learning experience for us. We're trying to grow as much as we can